Hello everyone and welcome back to another Essential Album video. This is week 20 and this week we are taking a look at Graceland by Paul Simon. It's released August 25th, 1986. Some notable tracks off this album are the title track, of course, Graceland, You Can Call Me Al, Diamonds on the Sole of Her Shoes, and I Know What I Know. I actually own this one on vinyl. So I want to say I picked this vinyl up a few years ago. I think I got it at like a Barnes and Noble or something like that. This album was kind of inspired by a lot of the albums and artists in this series. I kind of got into, or more heavily into, when I worked at a restaurant kitchen, and we were listening to artists like Billy Joel, a bunch of jazz, um, various artists, and Paul Simon was one of those that we really got into during that time period. And I believe this is probably, in my opinion, his best album. So let's go ahead and take a look at the track list here. So track one is The Boy in the Bubble. Track two is Graceland. Graceland is just a beautiful song, probably one of the greatest songs ever written, possibly. Track three is I Know What I Know. Track four is Gumboots. Track five is Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. Track 6 is You Can Call Me Al, another iconic track there. Track 7 is Under African Skies. Track 8 is Homeless. Track 9 is Crazy Love Volume 2. Track 10 is That Was Your Mother. And track 11 is All Around the World, or The Myth of Fingerprints. And I remember when reading about this album, there was a little bit of controversy, or some controversy, around where it was recorded, because Paul Simon at the time was getting really into kind of like South African music. And this was recorded in the mid 80s when, apartheid was still a thing. There was various boycotts going on for stuff going into and around South Africa. So he did take some criticism for going to South Africa to record this album. You could definitely hear the influences, the South African influences, especially on songs like Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes and a bunch of the other songs. But I definitely noticed it probably most in the beginning of Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes, because there's like some kind of nice little chanting going on, or I don't really know exactly what you would call it. But that's also just a classic song. And again, have the vinyl. Don't have vinyls for every single video in this series, but let's go take a look at the record here. So here is this is the front. You can call me out. So I think this is the front. This is the liner notes, lyrics for that, and there's a liner notes and lyrics on this. And I think what else was in here? I think this was the poster. Yeah, it came with a pretty nice poster. It's pretty large, so there is that part of the poster. Let's unfold it a little bit more. Not sure how this is going to look on video, but there is just that kind of iconic album artwork, the kind of like Renaissance style artwork off of the cover. So just a nice little poster there. Actually, it's a pretty large poster, but this album is probably his best album. There's a lot of other Paul Simon stuff I like, but if I'm going to pick just one Paul Simon album, it's going to be Graceland. Just the title track alone is just amazing. I absolutely love Graceland. The rest of the album is also really good. So you have like iconic tracks like You Can Call Me Al, Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. Boy in the Bubble is pretty good as well. But if I'm going to pick my three favorites off this, it's probably Graceland, You Can Call Me Al, and Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. But that's going to do it for this week's video. We'll be back again next week with another Essential album. Don't know what it's going to be just yet, but that'll be up in about a week. We'll be doing, like the rest of the year. We're 20 episodes in, so we've got 32 more to go. It's going to be interesting to see kind of, because at the end of the year, what I'm going to do is kind of compile everything through a spreadsheet. I've been logging all this stuff, and it's going to be interesting to see, like which genres I listen to the most or pick the most. I definitely guarantee it's going to be rock, but it's just going to be nice to see. Like I'll do like graphs and stuff like that to see, like what genres were represented, like what decades most of my picks came from, and so on. So we'll be doing that at the end of the year once the series is wrapped up. We got 32 more episodes to go in the series. Again, that's going to do for now. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one.